Let's get started by adding a super simple page transition here. So when we go to these pages, it's gonna fade out and fade in very nicely. Okay, so let's head here and just say npm start and get this puppy up and running. Okay, so the thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a variant to each page. However, I don't want to repeat myself. So what I'm gonna do is actually create a new file here in the source. So add a animation.js. Okay, nice. Okay, so what are we gonna do in here? Well, we're gonna create a const page animation. We're gonna set this equal to a curly bracket. We're gonna say hidden. So what properties we want when it's hidden? Well, I want the opacity 0 and comma, maybe I'm gonna push it down a bit, like 300 pixels. And when it's showing, I want this to have an opacity of 1 and the y is gonna go back to 0. Okay, we have an error, we need a comma here. That's good. And add another comma here. I want a transition here as well. So transition, I'm gonna do a duration of, let's do 1 second. And for now, I'm gonna say when. Actually, let's just keep it simple like that for now. Okay, that's it. Super simple. Just fade in and fade out with a bit of movement. Now I want to export this, so I'm going to say export const page animation. Now I'm doing this kind of export and not default is because we're going to export multiple files. Okay, so let's close that up. And now what we need to do is we need to go to each page. So let's go here to pages. I'm gonna go to about us in here. And I'm gonna start importing our animations. Import motion from dot slash, framer motion, like that. And I'm also gonna import page animation from our animation that we just created, like that. So what do I want to animate out? Well, I want to animate out this whole thing, right? Everything in here. So what I'm going to do here is actually create a motion div around all of these. I'm going to say motion.div. Motion.div. Okay. And now on this motion div, I just want to add a variance. Set that equal to page animation. Animation. Like that. Fantastic. Now the initial is gonna be hidden and the animate is gonna be show and hit save. Okay, so we did this previously. Now let's just do another one here. I'm gonna copy over this whole animations imports and I'm gonna go over to our work right here. I'm gonna paste it down here. Okay. Just a little copy paste, and on the work we're going to be doing the same thing. Okay, but this is a styled component using styled components. How do I make this? What do I do here? Motion dot, like, how is this working? Super simple. Whenever you're using styled components and you want to add motion to it, just go down to where you have your work here, right here where we have styled div. What we can do is we can get rid of the dot div, add parentheses, and just say motion dot div. Okay, that's how you can add it in a super easy way. Okay, so now we can go up here and now we have access to variants. Page animation is going to be the same. Our initial is going to be hidden and our animate is going to be show. Hit save. Let's see if it works. So look at that. When we refresh, it's going to fade in. When we go to our work, there we go. It fades in. However, we do have a little issue here. As you can see, it doesn't fade out. It just fades in. And that's perfectly fine because that's what happens when the component initially mounts, right? It starts fading in. So what we need to do in this case is we need to specify another property in our object here. So hidden, show, And besides hidden show, we need an exit that defines what happens to this component when we leave, when it unmounts. So after the show here, I'm going to add a comma. We can say exit, curly bracket. I basically want to say, hey, turn the opacity back to 0. Actually, we can kind of copy over everything from our show. So let's go to the show, copy everything down here. Okay? And in here, actually, I wanted to copy this over the hidden one. So let's just copy opacity and Y here because we want it to fade out and then to slide down. Okay, so whenever we exit, whenever the component unmounts and we leave it, it's going to exit. It's still not going to work because we need to go to About Us here and also specify the exit. Okay, so go to About Us. I'm going to say exit equals to exit, like that. I'm going to copy over this and go here to the work as well and paste it. Okay. Now, when we go, it's still not going to work. So what we need to do is actually head over to our app right here and do some changes. What we need to do here is to let Framer Motion know when our component starts mounting and when it changes, and to let it know when to start animating. Okay, so whenever you do these page transitions, what you need to do is go to your About or wherever you're doing your routing and import a specific package in here called, let's do animation here, something called import animate presence, like that, presence from Framer Motion. Okay, well, let's actually read what the Framer Motion animate presence. Okay, let's see what it says. It allows the component to animate out when they're removed from the React tree. Okay, so when the component leaves, it detects when it leaves, so it knows when to add that exit and when to start animating out. It detects its presence when it leaves. Okay, it gives it a notification. Okay, so the way we mount this up to make it work is we go down here, and I'm gonna basically wrap this whole switch with all the routes here with animate presence. So I'm gonna say animate presence, grab everything here, the end, and just paste it down here and hit save. Okay, now there's another thing that you need to do specific to this is on the switch, we need to basically add a key. And this is something that Framer Motion tells us to do. So this is very specific to Framer Motion. So what you need to do is basically go up here to React Router DOM and import something called use location. This is kind of like use history, almost the same, because what we need from here, let's just create a const location, set this equal to use location, like that. What we need from here is console log, let's do location. What we need from here, as you can see, gives us an object, is we need the key. We need the key of the page that we are on. So if we go here to our work, that's going to have a different key, okay? And this is something that we basically pass on to animate presence to let it know, hey, look, the key changed, which means we are on another page, which means that you should start animating that thing, okay? And we also need to pass it the current location that we are on. And that's basically it. So let's go down here, and on the switch, all we need to do is say location is equal to our current location. So we're just gonna pass in this object, and the key is gonna be location.pathname. And that's it. So let's take a look now if it works. Look at that, it starts animating out. Fantastic. Okay, so 2 steps here. You wrap everything in animate presence, which detects when things change, and you need to pass down this key to let it know that, hey, look at that, we are on another page. Make sure to start animating it. Okay, so there we go. Now there's a weird little thing that's happening. It's animating out, however, this pops in all of a sudden. Now, why is this happening? Well, it's happening because as soon as we click here, this starts fading out, but the other one already starts fading in. So they're happening at the same time. That's something that you might want to do. We cannot see it because, I mean, I guess if we scroll fast enough, we can see that that component starts mounting here already. But what we can do is we can specify here on the animate presence to wait until the current component exits and only then start animating the new one in. So we can say exit before enter. Okay, now if we hit save, we wait until it fades out and only after we start animating in. There we go, super nice. How about that? Now again, if you want things to happen simultaneously, you can get rid of that just like that. And the reason why this doesn't work is maybe we need to add a position absolute to these pages and maybe we can see it at the same time. Let's try. Let's see if we can make this work. Let's go to styles here, add a position absolute, top 10% or something, left 0%. Let's see if we can get that to work. See? They're happening basically at the same time. So if that's something you want to do, you can do. But we're not going to do it. So let's go here to our app and just add exit before enter. Fantastic. Let's hook up these as well. When we go to contact here now, it's not going to work. It's going to actually get messed up. So we have to go here to the URL and just go back to our initial one to make it work. So let's head into our contact and hook that up as well. I'm just going to go up here and copy over. Let's close up everything. Let's just copy over this animation import to contact us right here, just like that. Change this to motion.div. This as well. Let's go over to, let's also pass these properties down, exit and all of these in here. There we go. Let's also copy this again, the imports, and go to movie detail. Paste it up here, just like that. And for this one, we can copy over again these variant settings and go here to the details and pass it down again. Now again, this is not a motion component yet, it's just a style div. So we can go here to the details and change this up to motion.div. Hit save. That should make everything work. So let's go here. There we go. Click. There we go. Super nice. Contact. And there we go. We have our contact. Now we cannot really see that contact. So let's go over to our contact and style this up a bit. Actually, you know what? We're going to do that in the next one. I think we're going to leave it like that. But there we go. We added a transition to all of our pages. If you want to get creative, you can. Feel free to add, just go here to your animation here and just mess around. Try something with skewing, try something with, I don't know, size, scaling, whatever you can imagine, you can probably do here. So yeah, let's see. Let's do one last thing. Is I want to, when we go here to this page, I want to add a background of white. Now, I ran into some issues by doing it here in the hidden and show. For some reason, it didn't really work as smoothly as I wanted to. So I kind of researched this online a bit with Framer Motion. And what I found the best solution is to just go over to the page, like contact us here, and just add the style right here. So I'm going to say style equal to background. I'm going to set this to FFF. Okay, so it's just going to be an object with FFF. Now if we head over here, let's try this again. Okay, it's not working. Oh, I added it to the contact us. There we go. Let's actually copy this over to our work as well. Our work here, paste it, the style of white. And there we go. Fantastic. Okay. And one last thing I also want to do actually we're going to do the next steps, is we're going to take a look on how we can add animation. So after we arrive at this page, how we can animate these small children, okay? And if you remember, we did it with stagger children. So when we arrive on the page, when we arrive here, start animating these. Okay, let's see how we can do that.